Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and it's glad to have you back. So as you know, the latest news that have been going around revolves around the person that is seeking to clinch the New York mayor seat, that is Zohran Mamdani. And as you know, Zohran Mamdani won the preliminary primary seat for the New York mayor on the Democratic Party ticket, and as such he has faced a couple of backlash from the MAGA right, specifically the Republican Party, because of his left-wing policies. And with me here are a series of videos of people that are reacting to the major attacks that he has been facing over the past few recent days. Please sit back, relax, and watch this reaction with me.
As a Jewish New Yorker born and raised in Israel, this is what I have to say about Zohran Mamdani's anti-Semitism. It isn't a thing. Since Zohran's won the primary, he's been subject to explicitly anti-Muslim hate speech, not just from Republicans, but from fellow Democrats. Senator Gillibrand was forced to apologize for suggesting on air that Zohran supports global jihad. Of course, there's no evidence for that. Eric Swalwell said he doesn't associate himself with what Zohran said about the Jewish people. There's a reason Eric can't cite a quote, and that's because it doesn't exist. Laura Gillen said on TV that Zohran made calls for violence against Jewish people. Laura, when did that happen? When did that happen? If you can't answer that question, it's because he never said that. It's because you lied to the public about a Muslim man wishing violence upon Jews. So why am I so pissed about this? Ever since I was a teenager in Israel, I objected to the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians, which is why I refused mandatory military service and the IDF. As an American Israeli, I moved here to New York. And as someone who deeply cares about human rights and climate justice, I was so excited by Zohran's campaign. New York needs to be a place that anyone, especially the working class people who built it, can call home. This means making sure it is safe for everyone. Zohran has made it clear that he knows that anti-Semitism is real and he will combat it as mayor. Thousands of Jews volunteered for his campaign, and he was even endorsed by the city's highest-ranking Jewish official. Also, Zohran wants Israel to stop indiscriminately killing Palestinians. It's not a radical position, it's one he shares with every major human rights organization. Zohran is clear about where he stands, but now he has to face lies from his own party. To establishment Democrats, we've now heard these racist implications from many of you. They're dangerous, and they need to stop. And they're anti-Semitic. You act like you don't see New York's 1.3 million Jews as people. Just stand-ins for Netanyahu's Israel. You act like all you see when you look at me and my Jewish friends is a big, fat check from AIPAC. But Jews are so much more than Israel. I am sick of the kind of anti-Semitism that makes you think otherwise. As an Israeli New Yorker who objects to genocide done in my name, Zohran promised to represent me. Where have you been? Democrats, maybe you feel threatened by Zohran because he's succeeding where you have failed. Zohran won a massive upset against ultra-rich MAGA donors, and he didn't even have to sell himself to billionaires or the Israel lobby to do it. You should be celebrating, taking notes, and partnering with him, not trying to smother one of the biggest beacons of hope in your party right now. In this terrifying moment in history, we need real leadership. It's time to stand up to fascism and racism everywhere. If you can do that, then get out of the way. We have a future to win.
Civilized people in America don't eat like this! Wait, really? They don't eat with their hands? If you refuse to adopt Western customs, go back to the third world! Anybody who eats with their hands like this should be barred from ever being allowed in politics. So funny, Zohran clearly uses cutlery to eat food all the time, but he eats with his hands on camera like it's a costume performance for white people to find him, ooh, exotic. Look at how Zohran eats with his hands. We do not do this in America. Yeah, you're right, we don't do this in America. Some respect for our system, and includes using a fork and acknowledging the greatness of capitalism. I find it really interesting that Republicans have nothing to say when this guy eats food with his hand. Huh, wonder why they only do it to Zohran Mamdani. Sorry, Republicans, but yeah, some food is actually meant to be eaten with your hand. But for a group of people that claim to love freedom, it's really interesting how they want to ban people from politics just because they eat foods that are meant to be eaten with their hands, Republicans are just incredibly unserious.
New York City, we need to talk. Do you not remember what happened the last time that you elected a socialist mayor? You named an airport after him. Fiorella LaGuardia was elected in 1934 on a promise of defeating corruption and returning New York City to the New Yorkers who made it special. He massively expanded public works, public housing. He even built the subway system to connect working class New Yorkers all throughout the city. Even though he ran as a Republican, he was a New Deal progressive, and because of this, people called him a socialist and warned that his reforms would collapse the economy. Sound familiar? But the city did not fall apart, and LaGuardia is considered one of the greatest mayors in New York's history. A man who expanded public health services, fought for fairer labor protections, and made sure that the city's resources served all New Yorkers, not just the rich ones. LaGuardia took on a corrupt system that was failing New Yorkers, and he transformed New York into the envy of the world. So, when you hear fear-mongering about Zohran Mamdani and his socialism, remember that New York has been here before. And the last time that they tried policies similar to Mamdani's, they significantly improved the lives of everyday New Yorkers. So, who knows? I haven't visited New York in like 6 years, and I really want to go back, but maybe I should wait until I get a fly into Mamdani Airport.
This video of him eating with his fingers is circulating. Well, he's talking about how he understands the third world. I mean, literally, his mother's, I think, got millions. Here, watch this.
So the third holy grail of taboos in American politics, you have socialism, you have Islam, and then you have Palestine. And you are really going for the trifecta.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Tell me, why is Palestine a part of your politics?
When you grow up as someone, especially in the third world, you have a very different understanding of the Palestinian struggle.
So I don't know what's happening there, but somebody was defending him, saying he was using a piece of bread. He certainly looks like he's scooping his fingers into his food and shoving it into his mouth. And I actually don't really care if there was bread or not, but it's even worse if there's not bread. That's not how somebody who's an American eats, but it's him cosplaying third world person and understanding third world, even though his mother is this multimillionaire film director and his father is.
So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the video after watching the reactions. So I'd like to give you a quick run-up of who Zohran Mamdani is. So Zohran Mamdani is an immigrant from the continent of Africa. He was raised in Uganda. He was born in Uganda and he was raised up in South Africa. He is a Muslim, Indian American by descent. And as you have seen, the reactions that have been going around from other opposing politicians is a majorly a smear campaign to tarnish his name, to tarnish his image, because of where he comes from. As you have seen, there is a major Islamophobic epidemic in the nation of America, whereby people of Muslim descent are looked down upon. They are tarnished using very degrading stereotypes such as supporting terrorism, and the fact that they are a threat to white supremacy in the United States of America. As you have seen, the President Donald Trump, through his executive powers, is trying to weaponize the ICE agents to come out and deport him. And there are also a section of politicians and MAGA far-right fanatical supporters that are trying to discredit him using, for example, his act of eating rice using his hands. So this is a bad smear campaign. It is a tarnishing of his image, and it is something that is antithetical to the spirit and the values that the people of the United States of America uphold. As I myself, I would not support this because this would be a very racist strategy when it comes to taking down people, because we are looking at someone's ethnic background rather than his policies, rather than what he stands for, but on someone's identity. I believe that in the 21st century, identity politics doesn't have its place in the United States of America. So ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. If you've liked the video, consider leaving a thumbs up, because it helps the series and the channel grow. And if you are new here, welcome to the family. Please subscribe to the channel, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. Thank you.